welcome to Baby Wedge. This is going to be your tarot reading of the month of December 2021. God, I can't believe it's already 2021 and I haven't even got done processing 2020, bitch. Like, seriously. So, Gemini, what do we have in stores for you, Gemini? What do we have for you, Gemini? What do the cards want to say to you for this month of... Ooh, okay. I flip them over when I'm not sure whether they should have. Whatever lands now lands. Okay. All right, cool. So there is a need. We can say that we don't like to celebrate ourselves out in public. Maybe we can't handle the pressure of being prized for doing something good. But at the end of the day, if you're doing it behind closed doors, it's still better for your self-esteem, Gemini. Not only that, it will also help if you are not doing so. Reflect on how you got to the month of December. What have you been through this month that made you the person that you are now? There's a need of inner celebration of who you are right now. This is going to bring, by doing this, going to bring the inspiration. There's going to be a month of December for you where you're going to be able to find inspiration in everything you do, at every corner that you move in, at every corner that you move. Every corner that you move through, every position that you have your head at, and then you look at random spots in your room and you go like that and you look for details and take that as a metaphor or take it literal. It's up to you, you know, of finding that inspiration that is going to come for you. There is something that you may not be willing to move away from, matters of the heart, of emotions. It could be a breakup, it could be a family issue, something that really was connected with you. It's like, fuck, I don't want to let go of it. It's either because it hurts me and I want closure, or it hurts me and I'm just simply not willing to do it, you know, which makes you a little bit scattered, which makes you a little bit like, things are kind of all over the place. But at the end of the day, back to this inspiration, the inspiration that you might get is like unorthodox. It's outrageous. It's different from the traditions and what like you're used to. It's almost of a personal culture shock. It's like out of your comfort zone. It goes against what the people around you and the community around you are used to seeing. Yet it's who you are. And a lot of the times when you've already learned the rules, which is what I'm getting out of this, when you've already played the game by its rules, Gemini, or when you've already followed instructions well and understood the assignment, you can now become some sort of you can now become a teacher for someone else, and you can make it your own way as long as you're inspired to do so. If you're inspired to do so, then do so. So mote it be. Okay? So even though what's really going to be putting you out of place, let's say you've already celebrated yourself, acknowledged your own stuff, and acknowledged your own victories and all of that. By not allowing yourself to move on from this situation, and one can say, hey, fuck you mean I'm not willing to? Of course I'm fucking willing to. This shit fucking hurts. I want to fucking let go of this. Cut this fucking tie. I'm out. Yet, we have to recognize our toxic patterns that allow us to stay in misery and grief for too long. When grief is no longer necessary, how are we doing this to ourselves? God, allow me to only resonate with that. I need to resonate with both the rest. Sorry, that was for me. How is this like affecting us negative now at this point? Why? Because it's making us a little ungrounded. And by a little, I mean a fucking lot. It's taking our actions away from grounding. So you can see this way, the cards, the actions, because remember, wands represent actions that we're taking. It represents healing. It represents fire, transformation, drive, and Mars, anger almost, tenacity, I'm gonna get what I want kind of deal, you know? And they're all heading towards the ground, meaning that these ideas are becoming a physical reality. They're touching ground, they're being rooted. Now, upside down, they're doing the opposite. They're going up in the fucking sky. Boom, you're shooting blanks at this point. Okay? Why? Because that is holding us back. Now, once we start realizing, this is the really cool part about this whole thing. Once we start realizing that we can do things outside of the norm, we're going to start adopting a more rational approach to things. I feel like, okay, so I don't want to get you guys confused. These are two different, there's like a fork in your life, like around towards the end of the beginning of the month. Towards the end of the beginning of the month, meaning like right around the middle. So like we're going to talk like after the first week, almost kind of deal. I don't want to be too exact. It might be different for everyone depending on what decisions you're taking. So like if you're at this point and you haven't really accepted your victories, then you may not find that inspiration. You may not acknowledge that you have to let go of something that is in your best interest, because you don't have to do anything, sweetie. That is in your best, you don't have to do shit, homegirl. That is in your best interest that you let go, right? So all of these things can be holding you back. Now, if you're watching this and it's like towards the end of the month, it's like the last day of the month, no fucking worries. That may switch you up around. You might feel like you're repeating this whole thing the next month after that, but that's just how life is. You repeat the cycles. You get to do it again over and over. Life is never an ending thing if you don't get to do this shit again. You know, you get to do it again. So, in most cases, unless you fucking kill somebody and go to jail, then you actually get sentenced, you know, like, you know. So once you start realizing that you can go a little bit, that you can go out of the norm, that you can go against authority, because you're not revealing for negative, you're not a rebel without a cause, you're not a rebel with a cause. And if you are a rebel without a cause, then get yourself in check. Because why are you going against it? Is this my self-will, or does this come from divine inspiration? Is basically God or my higher self or my intuition telling me that I can go and fold this up around. So the rationality comes in and plays an important part in this whole thing, Gemini. You're good with rationality. You're good at taking decisions. This whole Gemini thing can look both fucking ways, and that brings you logic and rationality. There's a way of splitting yourself up and realizing what's best for everything. So that brings rationality. Also, there is the money there's the physical things, the things that we value the most start becoming a concrete part of who we are, meaning that I no longer say this is what matters to me. I now act and live in my truth. That talks about the throat chakra becoming our reality. The throat chakra talks about us finding our true selves, who we are at core, and speaking and living and defending that simply by existing at this point. We no longer have to talk about it. We are about it. It's not something that we do, it's something that we are. So therefore we emanate radiance of it. We vibrate to it. There's no need to say I am smart if you're smart. You can just tell you're smart by the way you talk, per se. And this is going to come, and you know, again, this is going against the norms, against the tradition, finding ourselves and all of that. Now, once we get outside of that, there's the Knight of Wands. Let me look at the Knight of Wands real quick, because I know the Knight of Wands is a lot like the Knight of Swords in ways, which is kind of like, say you're doing something and then not doing it, scatter with your goals. It's like goals falling all over the place, not ready for the challenge. Not ready for the challenge. Wow, you're gonna get yourself into some deep shit. Be careful, because if you break the rules without a cause, and this is not coming from inspiration of telling you this is who you are, then things are going to go down to shit. Either way, you have a tower moment coming up. Whether this tower moment is going to destroy and rebuild a new you and a new reality for your best, or it's going to fuck up what you already have going on that is good for you. So this is going to be a lot of discernment on your side. It's very important that we try to get rid of as many traumas as we can. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, shit just got real. Oh, shit just got motherfucking real. Oh, so just be ready for it, okay, Gemini? Remember, if you have any more questions about where this might be going and how this might end up, or you need any advice from the cards, hit me up for a booking. My name on Instagram is babywitch_tarot, just like the name here on YouTube. And there's an email address and a phone number on my contact list there as well. Okay? My email address is loveistheanswer.tarot@gmail.com. Bye.
Chitches got red.